All right, good evening, everyone. Let's have ourselves a little special live session. Appreciate everyone for stopping by. We got a lot to cover here. As we've seen the market running up, a lot of news took place this week, and I think this has given us a little bit of insight into how our 2024 is going to look. It's going to be absolutely explosive. In the charts, we have situations taking place on the world stage, current events, where it's literally going off. It's a hand-to-hand situation, on the ground, kinetic battle. And we bring this all back full circle with our currency and commodity war, understanding where the real value is at. Because if you can figure out business and investing, especially understanding sound money, and then understanding where the real value is at that humanity actually needs versus fluffy, funny money participation trophy economy times. Running a business and investing is much different when we just get a little bit higher interest rates. Not everybody gets to be a winner, and we're starting to see who's been swimming naked, and that's only going to continue. But on the upside potential here, like I said, if you can figure out business and investing opportunities, the world is yours. May God be with us, because we understand too that we're up against an evil agenda. You know, this was a historical week for free speech, decentralized media, independent journalists, and putting in an effort outside of mainstream media. Getting something done outside of the power figure, the power structure that so many people think is impossible to conquer or defeat. I'll tell you right now that all of us collectively together, we are making an impact. This is so much bigger than the XRP community. Although I focused a lot of my content around XRP and the opportunity that I believe it presents, clearly we have a lot more to discuss. This is very important. We're going to stay in the fight. We're going to stay on the front lines too. That's the thing. I don't take a break. I'm going to be showing up tomorrow. I guess there's a Super Bowl thing that they're doing, a little Super Bowl deal. No, I love it. I love it. God bless it. Everybody enjoys, taking some time off and watching a football game. But for me, I cannot pull myself away from this opportunity, guys. It's the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. It's already underway, and some people are still waiting for it to come. No, it's already here. It's already taking place. And we got to make sure that we get our community on the right side of it. So you guys can help me out by supporting our content, just liking the videos, dropping a comment. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what you want to see next. Remember, I read all the comments. If you guys need to get in touch, everything's at my website, zachrector.com. I'm not bought and paid for. I am independent. I just consider myself someone who shares my opinion and covers the news, keeping it simple. But then I also show folks how I'm investing, how I'm running business, how I'm living my life, trying to break through, decode the data, understand what the heck's going on in this upside down reality. It's tough to make it make sense when there is no more common sense. So in tonight's show, I have it lined up, ready to rock and roll. This is a live session, so we got a lot to cover. Please hang out with me, drop comments, questions down below, and we will take some Q&A at the end of this session. Let's get it. Market back up. You guys can see the charts right here. 48,400, and it looks like we even got up to about 48.5. I'm on the daily chart zoomed out here back to December so that we can see how the new year has been treating us well. The Bitcoin spot ETF rally treated us really well. And it really faked out a lot of people too, as we warned about, back down to 38.5. And Bitcoin doing what it does, which is just melt faces, right? This is crypto. It moves so quickly, so violently. And with that opportunity presents a lot of risk. And this is why we have to understand where the risk side of our portfolio is at and what our tolerance should be. And you got to be able to stomach, right, these downturns, these pullbacks, if you want to be able to have a little bit of fun too. And this is what we've done here for Bitcoin. Let's measure this percentage basis up 25, almost 26% peak to trough. But it was just an equal collapse as well to the downside before we made this rally. So, the thing about understanding TA to just a basic level is just being able to not buy into the green candles and hype narratives that we could see coming a mile away. Now, I did talk with my Discord community about, hey, 43 to 45 looks like it's in the cards. And we got that in the first part of this week, and then we just ripped right by it. And this is where I've been caught off guard so many times when my trading strategy that I figured out over the last year or so was just shorting Bitcoin, 5x leverage, not getting too crazy with it, but just watching Bitcoin get overhyped time and time again by narratives, setting shorts, and I would ride some of my trades down. Absolutely. But it was a swing trade. It wasn't a day trade. It's a different mindset. It's understanding hype cycles, watching the correction come in and just taking profits, not getting greedy. Little bit of leverage just to add a little juice to it. 5x leverage, that's it. That's all I would do. Right now, no futures platform wants to take care of someone in my state, so I'm left in the dark, and I don't do VPN for trading. I'm too worried about getting my money locked up on a platform that says, we see where you're at, and they kick me off. I'm too worried about that. But this is where I would get in trouble, because I would call these out, these bull trap rallies, and then we'd get cleaned. But I had liquidity so that I would never get liquidated, right? I had not just, take a stop loss, but I also would just add liquidity, because when you believe in a position, you should be willing to even double down, right? If it temporarily goes the wrong way, you take advantage of that. When you get a dip on an asset that you're long on, you buy that dip. This is where we need to understand not getting over leveraged. And I think that a lot of folks are starting to pull it back that have any sort of common sense and see what's taking place. You still have a lot of people that are levering up. And this is not just degen trading on crypto. This is, we just saw 50 billion added to credit cards in December. And this didn't include the 15 to 20 billion that was added to buy now, pay later that doesn't even get tracked by the credit card companies. When you go in to get new credit from the dealership or from the bank, they might not even be able to see or pull your buy now, pay later debt that you've accrued. And the agencies, the regulatory agencies are getting caught up right now. They're way behind on this. I was just listening to Daniela DiMartino Booth, who's a former Fed official, kind of expert on this. And she was speaking how the regulatory agencies are behind this. Buy now, pay later is not even getting included. So we're seeing folks ramp up. You're asking yourself, how is the market still going up? How are we still getting strong retail numbers? The consumer is not going down without a fight. And what that means is protest student loan debt. It means rack up buy now, pay later for a burrito. Now, I'm not discounting hard times. This is what we've been warning about. This is what we were sounding the alarm about at the top of the bull run last in 2021, 2022. We said the bear market's coming at the end of 2021. Nobody wanted to listen. And we got cleaned out all through 2022. Now, 2023, we had ourselves a party again. Why? Because everybody's front running the Fed pivot. And this is where they're going to get caught with their pants down when Jerome Powell doesn't cut rates once again in March. And if he is cutting rates, that means that the bomb's already gone off, i.e. banking crisis, i.e. whatever black swan scenario they have cooking up for us that they're going to manifest. Whatever that is going to be, that's going to be the excuse. And whether it happens before the March rate decision or not, is all we're talking about. Does it happen between now and March? Does it happen after March? BTFP ends March 11th. We see this whole thing, this moment in time that we're in right now is very interesting considering this bull trap rally that I think that we just ran up here for Bitcoin and for the overall crypto space. And you're starting to see one-off alts go. I just added a few positions to my portfolio. I just talked about that with my Patreon and Discord group earlier today in our weekly call. Some of these positions are, it's just a deal that we got to scoop up because I want to have some exposure. I have so much FOMO watching green candles for a flare, that I'm just like, man, because I had offloaded my flare. And so I'm empty-handed on flare. I'm seeing it print green candles, and I'm like, okay, they're cooking something over here. Just a little bit of DeFi can take a project so far, and that's what you're seeing right now in flare. So I scooped some up a couple weeks ago. Just scooped up a little bag of flare after I'd sold off the little bit that I'd received on that airdrop that I finally got from Coinbase, right? And this is what I've been talking about in regards to the XRP ledger. You look at any of these blockchains, a little bit of DeFi, And you get this whole ecosystem. I'm going to show you guys more on that here later in this episode. I got to get through this news, though, before we get along here too far. I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Big session coming in here tonight. I see that's Blues Battle, something like that. Nothing but profits, baby. Hey, we are going to be making a lot of money when this goes back risk on and we go into this bull run through this year and next year. And then once again, my thesis is that we're in the beginning of a super cycle that does carry us into late 2020s. We're talking 28, 29 into 2030. But on the other side of this, I don't discount the enemy's Agenda 2030, right? This is where we have to understand the whole picture, the whole battlefield. We have to see all of the enemy threats. And there's a lot of them. God bless all of you who fight the good fight. Hey, we're going to have some fun tonight. Thank you for stopping by. Let's rock and roll. Now, there was your Bitcoin. Ethereum's up. XRP's up to 52.5. I don't even need to show you the charts. Let's go. We'll talk more on that later. President Biden. Here's the good news, folks. Here we go. Good news for folks as we start the weekend. The stock market going strong is a sign of confidence in America's economy. S&P 500 closes above 5,000 for the first time ever, notches fifth straight winning week. Now, here's where Jerome Powell says, hold up, wait a minute. We're actually chilling here with our rates right now, right? We're going to go higher for longer. And this market's having itself a little bit of a party, but we're not going to give up on them easy just yet. Now, can this market run up further? Absolutely. Absolutely. But we've seen these cycles time and time again. This is a double top that's forming in the equities markets. They topped out in 2021. And, the thing about it, we're seeing the same things play out here time and time again. Gold Telegraph, the amount the United States financial institutions have loaned to shadow banks has passed 1 trillion. History repeats. That's just loans. Also consider derivatives, right? The notional value of these derivatives markets is well into the quadrillions. We're talking about unraveling trillions upon hundreds of trillions upon quadrillions of dollars of value in positions across our broader markets. Markets like derivatives that we can't even completely track. But this is where we were at in 2021 when Jeff Bezos sold off Amazon stock last time as well. Bezos sells 12 million shares of Amazon this week for $2 billion. It is the first time he has sold Amazon stock since 2021. Now, this is equities. We talk about crypto a lot, but you got to understand how correlated they are and the valuations in the story, the thesis behind each one of these. For me, I am not interested in these high-flying tech stocks because I think that they're incredibly overvalued, and I think that we're about to have a shift back into commodities and other, forms of value. And the thing about them is, sure, these guys can eat up a lot of these smaller companies, and this is what Microsoft and others have done. Microsoft, right, taking over ChatGPT, and they make these huge acquisitions in the AI, the new tech that comes along. These companies that are entrenched, well, they just buy out the competition, and this is how they remain, right? And so I'm not here to short those, but I'm just not going to get exposure because I think that the upside, although attractive, I think if we truly go risk on, crypto always has been outperforming it, at least for the last decade. So for my risk side of my portfolio, I only have as much money as I have to throw at risk for risk tolerance. For me, I'd rather just be in crypto, right, where the upside is tremendously more. But people aren't watching this, that these insiders are dumping. Bezos is selling off for the first time since 2021. Jamie Dimon sold his JP Morgan Chase for the first time ever. Zuckerberg, what is he doing? Selling off a bunch of shares and building a bunker. They're doing it right in front of us. They know what they're unleashing on us. And they're cashing out and heading for the hills. Now, metaphorically speaking, heading for the hills for us is just stacking what we can and being able to, ask God to take us through and pray that we make it through with what we can accumulate and what we got for skills, and that society relatively remains peaceful, even though they're putting out the predictive programming movie Civil War. Don't leave the world behind, or whatever that Netflix special was. This is the only reason why I watch the TV anymore, is just to watch the predictive programming. What false flag events are they sending at us next? Now, this is important. Gold extended its streak to a record 41 consecutive trading days where the spot price held above $2,000. We are holding $2,000 like we never have before. This is history in the making for gold price. Everybody wants price action for suppressed assets, for the assets that are supposed to be running the new financial system, backing the new financial system. We are getting it. We've never done this before. 41 consecutive trading days where spot prices held 2,000. That exceeds the prior total number of days gold ever traded above 2,000, yet investor sentiment remains extremely weak, with mining stocks falling nearly 4% on the week. The equity positions in the commodities, killed. They've just been beat up and overlooked. And in fact, investors, hate the commodity space. A lot of them. They won't want anything to do with it. It's all tech. It's all AI. It's all Bitcoin. But people forget that this is what actually runs the world, and this is what is going to back the world. And we are seeing price action breakouts every single day. The paper derivatives markets are the ones that are imploding, and you're seeing this in real time. These are the tools that they use to suppress these, but they're breaking. This is why they have to shut down the nickel market, because one dude who's leveraged billions of dollars on the position messes up the whole market. So this is why they have to shut these things down. For gold, they're struggling to keep a cap on it. Holding 2,000 for the first time, 41 days, which is a record streak. Meanwhile, the stocks, the equities have been beat up. For me, this is where we're looking at private equity, private placements. I'm trying to research companies in the commodity sector right now. Very, very risky, but tremendous upside opportunity. And the thing that gets me excited is that you have commodities, the underlying assets that these companies go mine, that these companies go find, right? That they invest in and actually get out of the ground has been suppressed as well. So not only are these companies actually solid, viable, and some of them are starting to make something happen, but you also have the underlying asset that they're getting out of the ground that's set to be revalued as well. This is what gets so exciting for me. I haven't bought any stocks or equities up in Vancouver. I got to go meet and talk with some of the CEOs of these companies, some of the biggest miners in the world. And as a matter of fact, the point that I wanted to bring up though is you're seeing price movement on these assets. Uranium back above $100. Is uranium as sexy as cryptocurrency? Does that sell like crypto does? No, no, it really doesn't. It's not popular. It's overlooked. And this is why I'm looking at it. Right? This is where, okay, there must be something here that a lot of people are missing. So I'm looking at that for private equity, along with also looking at private equity, companies like Ripple that I've talked about. I think that they could have one of the largest IPOs in history, very well could. More on that later. Here's the scoop from Charlie Gasparino. The SEC is bracing for a major exodus among senior enforcement lawyers in its crypto assets and cyber unit, according to officials at major law firms who have seen several of the resumes. Fox Business is withholding names to protect privacy. So we got some whistleblowers. Whistleblower alert. The move suggests that the bleed of senior staff under Gary Gensler's controversial leadership of the agency isn't letting up, and he dropped the scoop with Liz Clayman. Stuart Alderati, Chief Legal Officer of Ripple, responds, "Will any of these lawyers be brave enough to blow the whistle and share details about Gensler's controversial leadership with the SEC's Office of Inspector General or with the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability?" Our boy Stu, our guy, Stu is going off on Twitter, calling out Gary Gensler, Mr. Good Guy Gary Gensler, for his relationships with questionable characters at MIT that were backed by you-know-who. These people are sick. And called him a serial loser in the courts. Our boy Stu has gone off on Gary Gensler and the SEC, which tells me that maybe a settlement isn't around the corner in this SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, but at the very least, we can see that the end is in sight, and Ripple's still got a good, very, very strong case to win. little slap on the wrist, fine, and we continue about our business. But in regards to accountability, in regards to the SEC falling apart, in regards to the corruption that we've been exposing, here's my good friend Jimmy Valley applying pressure. On May 11th, 2022, the attached letter asking basic questions was sent to every person that reviewed the him and ETHgate speech prior to him and making it in June of 2018. There's way too many people in this community that only correlate a XRP buyback at 50,000 with Jimmy Valley and don't understand that he's a real lawyer who's been applying pressure and doing it through the proper outlets. People think, oh, he issued a buyback proposal to the Fed. He sent a letter with the attached basic questions for every person that reviewed the him and ETHgate speech prior to him and making it in June 2018, i.e., everybody that was at the SEC that got to review it. He sent them a letter on May 11, 2022. Shockingly, not one person responded. Not one person chose to distance themselves from what had taken place at the SEC. Not one. If it keeps, and he goes on here to show some lyrics, but we're talking about, he in another chat, he sent me the full list. He's got the list of all these people, their contact information, direct messages, emails, letters sent to these SEC officials, the ones that are doing the deal. And so many people want to remain ignorant to what this man did to apply pressure properly, respectfully, with class. And some people want to twist the whole narrative. He's a regular guy from Texas, an American patriot that wants to help the XRP community put up a fight. Can we protect ourselves, please? What is the precedent in this country? They took the gold and then revalued it from $20 to $35 per ounce. This isn't a game. And where are we at? You know, we hop on John Deaton's website, hit up your politicians. We got to vote these people out. We got to speak out. We got to stand up and continue fighting the good fight. This is so much bigger than XRP. This is about saving our country. We had the gold standard of capital markets. Now we have the gold standard of corruption. That is regulatory capture 101. We have the facts, the timeline, the evidence, and people think that, oh, this is just us trying to pump XRP. No, we want to save our country. Just so happens that XRP might be a part of that. It could be part of that. Could be saving a lot of countries. Could help level the playing field if we would get these people out of our way. This bureaucracy beast that's not just in our way, trying to choke us out, kill capitalism and entrepreneurship in the United States. And it's not just crypto assets. They want to tell you what you can do with your land. They want to control every aspect of your life and tax you to hell while they do it, just so they could blow it all to hell. This is why we're still in the fight. And as we've been saying, disprove the timeline. Show us facts. Speak. Why did none of them come speak out? Why did none of them respond to Jimmy Valley? Well, I'll tell you what the problem's going to be is when a little documentary goes viral and gets millions of views. Starts to have a little impact. And our community's already having a major impact. Our community is going to lead the way. We've been the adults in the room, and we have some of the best researchers in the community applying pressure. This is Boring Sleuth. Looking at the Ethereum roadmap, he asked the question, am I seeing this correctly? Does the Ethereum roadmap include a purge part, which specifically states that they are eliminating historical data and technical data? Gee, why would they be trying to do that? I've read so many comments today from anonymous ETH accounts trying to spin this as they are eliminating historical data, and I'm starting to wonder if I can read or if it's them. I know some history that Vitalik Buterin, Eric Voorhees, and Joseph Lubin want to delete, and probably some officials at the SEC as well. This is why we are going to continue fighting like hell. This is why we got to continue showing up here every single day, because these people want to take away the opportunity that's all we're asking for. It's crazy. We're not asking for a handout. We're not asking them to take care of us. Please just let us build our businesses, invest how we so please. Why do we have to have $1 million net worth to invest in private equity? Why do we have to make $200,000 per year to invest in private equity? You're protecting us? What happened to the land of the free? But wait. I can take 50 grand out of the casino and blow it no problem, right? It's absurd. It's hypocritical, and it's all part of control and choke point. And you're seeing it with the digital asset space. Now, 90% of the space probably is going to struggle and go away because it's not building a real product. It's not solving a real problem. It's not bringing real value. But what we're about to see unlocked here in the XRP ledger is going to create a home for real value to come to. That's what we're talking about. An internet of value is being created, and is your ledger going to be a home for value? Is value going to be stored there and transacted there? End of story. That's what we're trying to find. This is what we're talking about right here, folks, with the AMM on the way, VET, one of our validators on the UNL. Over 36 million in XRP is used in other protocols that leverage automated market makers and EVM. The top three are ClaySwap, Wrapped, and Kava Mint. This right here, folks, is $36 million worth of liquidity that is in other pools, other protocols, not on the XRP ledger, because we don't have an AMM. Now, if we had our AMM, would they still have some liquidity over there? Sure. But you see that there's already folks that are putting XRP into liquidity pools using automated market makers and EVM. That's $36 million of liquidity potentially coming onto the XRP ledger. Just right there is one example. You know, you think of on top of that, how many people in the XRP community are ready to put into AMM. And then as I talked about in the episode earlier today, we have Ripple, which is going to finally be able to really see its business go to the next level, because they'll be able to put XRP themselves into these liquidity pools. And we're talking about billions of XRP if they want it. XRP US dollar, billion XRP. Here's the best liquidity for XRP to USD in the world. Boom. That's what's going to happen, guys. Now, there's a little bit of developer drama. We got our AMM delayed. It's just builders, it's developers, you know. We try to have some spaces and let them communicate, let them work it out, you know. I try to be a mediator, let them talk it out, let both sides be heard. They're all got great intentions. They're all in a good place. They have different ways that they want to get there to the same objective, essentially, for the most part. And the beautiful thing is, it's coming. AMM delayed, it's coming in the next month or two. And this is what I'm talking about, is that Ripple can literally make XRP with whatever other currency they want, or whatever pairing, whatever issued asset, have the best liquidity in the world right there in the snap of a finger, because they can put 1 billion XRP onto that side of the trade. You're talking about, I don't know how much is locked up in DeFi liquidity pools right now, but we're talking Ripple's ability with that escrow to fill up liquidity pools with a tremendous amount of value. And Ripple really wouldn't even need to sell. They would just be able to collect those fees. So why I'm saying that I think that people don't understand how big of an IPO this company can have. Right? They have as much XRP as the largest IPO in the world. Now, are investors discounting the escrow that Ripple has? Yes, because it's not on their balance sheet. It's technically not shown on their balance sheet. You have to understand the escrow. You have to understand Ripple's intentions with it, or be willing to speculate like I am. Like I'm just speculating on what Ripple's intentions are with this escrow, but I'm assuming that they've pre-allocated some to institutions around the world. They want to be a lender of last resort to institutions around the world, and they're going to use the AMM and their own bag of XRP to just make these liquidity pools flush with liquidity, where you will literally have the best liquidity in the world on some of these pairings right there on the XRP ledger. Now, as I said, 25.6 billion, Saudi Aramco, biggest IPO ever. Facebook, 16 billion, one of the top 5. I forget, I had the numbers on another post, But the point being, Ripple's escrow, assuming it is all theirs, at today's price is equivalent to 25 billion, 25, 30 billion. They just bought back their own shares at 11 billion. So Ripple's helping, to keep stock price up, give liquidity to investors. That's obviously private market trading. So we don't have the details for all the sales there. Once again, the private equity market is setting the price on Ripple stock right now. To me, it's just fascinating to watch. And then when I run through the valuation models, are investors going to discount the escrow? Probably. But even if you discount the escrow is still worth what? If it's worth 20 to 30 billion, you slash it in half, okay, it's still worth 10 to 15 billion. And you have a company on top of that that's making massive moves in the financial system. Now, in this title of today's episode, I asked the question, bull trap or bull run? What are we in? This is very important to understand. I believe that we are in a bull trap on a short-term time perspective. This is my chart right here. Okay? This is our daily chart. And I do think that we're going to come back down and we are going to correct from here. I think that we have a little bit of life left in this. Wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin go to 52. I really wouldn't. I would not be surprised to see Bitcoin go up to 50K, 52, set another top. But then I do believe that we're correcting. And I believe that happens between now and March. Now and, sometime in March or towards even the end of March, right? And this is why short term, I think this is a bull trap. But long term, we are in the beginning, the early innings of an incredible bull run. An incredible bull run is about to begin. And some would argue, and maybe time will tell us if we're already in the bull run. Because from the bottom level that we traded at of 15,500, we've gone up 220%, takes us up to that $49,000 price that we hit at the beginning of the year. Now, if we go break that again, right, we're talking about a 220 to 250%, bull trap rally. We could even do a 342% bull trap rally, just like we did in 2019 and the beginning of 2020, and then we got killed. Which is why I'm still not 100% send this thing to Valhalla. I don't think we go there yet. We might have a little detour. We might have a little dip in between. And we've seen this in many cycles, right? Right before that happening that took place in 2020, we got cleaned out in March. And we only have to do half that to come back down another 25, 30% and come back into that 38 to 35K range. Really, it's not that far away, especially for Bitcoin crypto. Now, I'm going to show you guys why we are definitely in the early innings of an incredible, massive cycle that's coming for the digital asset space. What you're about to watch right here is the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, explaining that Bitcoin is no different than what gold was for thousands of years. It's an asset that protects you. Now, this is where the Bitcoin community, so classic of them, you know what they always do, right? They only explain, that it's positive for Bitcoin. They say, oh, this is proof that, Bitcoin is the answer. Well, no, he also mentions gold, And so let's listen in here. This is the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink. Check it out.
I believe, it goes up if the world is more frightened, if people have fearful of geopolitical risk, they're fearful of their own risk. It's no different than what gold represented over thousands of years. It is a asset class that protects you. Right. And unlike gold, where we manufacture new gold, we're almost at the ceiling of the amount of Bitcoin that we created.
When you hear somebody like Cathie Wood,
yes,
who was on our broadcast yesterday, say that her base case is that this turns into a $600,000 a Bitcoin valuation, base case, and a million plus in a super optimistic case. Are you anywhere in her realm?
I haven't thought about it. To me, that what we are trying to do is offer an instrument that can store wealth. I think if it gets that even close to that high, gold will represent even a bigger value. And let's be clear, if you think it's digital gold, there's going to be a reference point between gold and Bitcoin.
Basically, he was saying you got a battle right now between the old gold and the new gold, right? Digital gold, physical gold, and that there's value in both, and that if the case for Bitcoin is true, then the case for gold is true. And this brings me to the main point, which is when it's time to let these assets fly, guys, this thing is about to rip. Because do not sit back for 1 second and think that these guys are not absolutely locked and loaded to send Bitcoin to six figures, to send gold well past this new all-time high that we just hit of 2150. Well past that. When it's time to send it, it's time to send it. What did he say though? We're working on creating an instrument to get exposure. We want to control the assets. Our investors want exposure. We're going to provide the product. We don't care whether Bitcoin necessarily goes up or down. Of course, they'd love to see the portfolios grow with exposure to Bitcoin, but either way, they're making money on the fees. They are controlling assets under management. And that's what this game's about for the BlackRocks of the world. So he's going to get exposure to Bitcoin. And when we look at what he did with what BlackRock did with gold, I believe they have 4 or 5 gold ETFs. And one of them is for equities, basically, stocks in gold companies. And 4 of them are just commodity ETFs that are supposed to represent and basically reflect gold, exposure to just straight gold. So 4 or 5 ETFs for gold. The question now is, how many ETFs is BlackRock going to make for the digital asset space? This is where I see the Grayscales of the world rolling their large cap fund into an ETF that includes all of the large cap cryptos, right? Where you can get exposure to the basket of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and a few others, right? I think they hold like 5 or 6 in that fund. Now, I made some videos about a month or so ago when I was on vacation in Arizona. I made a couple of videos talking about how there's nothing stopping BlackRock from making an XRP ETF. Whether we think that that's good or bad, trust me, I believe that the ETFs are I know they are the tools of manipulation, the instruments of suppression of gold and silver. But also when it's time to really reset this financial system and they want to write assets up, right? We're talking about getting exposure to these positions and then letting them go. And when it's time to let them go, they're going to absolutely rip. And they're going to be fueled by the amount of money printing that has to come in here if we want to keep the American program rolling on, which is obviously another $95 billion just got approved by our Senate to go to 4 or 5 countries, maybe a few others. Maybe you're going to get some money. I don't know if I'm going to get, I probably won't get any money, but that's fine. I don't need any government money. What we're going to continue to do is what the BlackRocks of the world are doing, which is building up our cash position so that we can buy the blood in the streets and the assets that they're eyeing as well. It's crazy. We are competing against the BlackRocks of the world for our XRP, for your Bitcoin, for your silver, for your gold, for your real estate. We are literally competing against the biggest asset managers in the world for these assets. And with, XRP, silver, gold, some of these, there's only so much of it that you can get. And I see that Stuart dropped us a big one here tonight, a big, massive 100 Aussie bucks. What's your guys' currency called down there? Aussie bucks. What do you guys call them down there? Stuart says, while the majority of the population are using the buy now, pay later BS, we are sitting back watching this shit show movie called life. God bless you, Stuart. Much love to you, brother. That's so true. So true. Folks, we're only 39 minutes in. Gosh. All right. That means we got about 15, 20 minutes for Q&A. What do you guys have to say? Drop it in the comments down below. Everything can be found on my website, zachrector.com. You guys already know we have affiliates for precious metals, for wallets, exchanges, cryptocurrency resources. And also, if you guys are looking to get into our private community, you can as well. Patreon gets you access to Discord, and we really do appreciate the support. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this community. On a daily basis, you guys have me excited to wake up and get to work every single day. I'm going to be working tomorrow. Can promise you that. I asked wifey on the way home from dinner tonight. I said, "Do we got anything planned tomorrow?" She says, "No." I said, "Let's go. We can get some work done." I mean, I live for this. This doesn't even feel like work, you know? But once again, the hard part is the mental, the emotional, right? Staying in control. Right now, you guys see it out there in the negativity, trying to wake up folks around us. You know, it's been 2-3 years that we've all been, you know, waking up, and a lot of people woke up over the last 2-3 years, but you still have a lot of people that are asleep at the wheel. They're still just mindless, continuing on the program. You try to lend out a hand, they're not interested. You hit them with the facts, not interested. But we continue to try regardless, and that's why I appreciate when you guys share out our content far and wide. I'm going to continue dropping a bunch of short stuff that'll be easy for you to share out far and wide. Those little 60-second clips, those are the best ones to give someone an introduction, because on the live shows, obviously, we get rocking and rolling, and many of us in our community, we're at a more advanced level as far as getting people caught up to speed here, right? You send them a live show that we're ranting and raving for 45 minutes, they might not be able to stay up to speed. But that short content, and we're about to hammer it home, even the basics on crypto as we begin this next bull run. Appreciate all of you guys for stopping by. Yeah, stablecoin regulations coming in. April 8th is some X across America. Shell, yeah, we're looking at that. We're looking at the solar eclipse, or sorry, it's not the eclipse. No, it is an eclipse, right? Yeah, we got the X. You know, it's really crazy, just all the star alignment, astrological stuff, how aligned it is right now. That's how much I've been paying attention to it. But I know that it's all lined up for crazy stuff to occur. But that's all I know. I haven't really spent too much time lately in the astrological realms, unfortunately, because that stuff is kind of cool. But yeah, it's all lined up. We're right there. We got the, what's it, the Chiefs and who else in the Super Bowl? It's all lined up. The show continues on. Wow, what an incredible week, huh, folks? Got the Tucker Putin, got the Biden bombshell, another Biden bombshell. That's one of my favorite. I worry about using that term and getting in trouble, but I love that. Another Biden bombshell. Just like Stuart Alderati dropping the bombs this week. Thank you so much for all the love tonight, guys. Hopefully I didn't miss any other super chats. Drop those comments and questions down below, and we're here to have ourselves a little evening. Yep. Bush Sr. became director of the CIA in 1976, and Putin became KGB. That was slick. Putin calling out Tucker for being a CIA agent. You know, heard you didn't make it. That was slick. That was slick. Kelly, I appreciate that. That means so much. She says, Zach, if it wasn't for you, I reckon I might have given up by now. That's why we're here. And it's not to build up anybody with false hope. What do we lay out? Fundamentals, facts. When it's time to speculate, I'm willing to speculate. I'm willing to speculate with the best of them. But the speculation is based off of a lot of facts, and I always try to distinguish the two, and I am not here to provide false hope. I've been warning about, hey, it's not going to be pretty for the next couple years. I thought that this situation was going to have worked itself out by now. Here we are in 2024. And the crypto market's heading into a bull run, and it doesn't even feel like it yet, you know? I think so many of us have been hardened by this bear market that we're in denial that we're even in the beginning of the next bull run. And this is what's really going to mess with people if we do get wiped out again. Guys, when I'm telling you, long-term, the fundamentals are there. This is why I played Larry Fink BlackRock. But also on the back end of that, he was part of spinning up the narrative that led to the first bull trap rally up to 49K and sell off. He was part of that. So he's part of the programming and the media manipulation. This is market maker manipulation right before you, short term, setting us up long term. They're going to make sure that they make their money. What do I think that Bitcoin will do TA wise during the Super Bowl? I mean, we could pump, this is what gets interesting around these little events like this. You can easily pump into them, right? But then you can start to sell off later. It's interesting. Markets in Asia will open up tomorrow night, and some of the FX stuff and so markets open up tomorrow evening. Even though the Super Bowl is taking place in the United States, the markets are still opened up on Monday. Let me check that, actually. I want to make sure that the markets... Yeah, it is. Oh, wait, no. I want to make sure. Yeah, I don't see anything. We're good. Yep. Yeah, markets will be opened up completely. Darwin, I didn't see what you said. Darwin, no, I just didn't see what you said. Oh, Bitcoin is doomed? Yeah. Yeah, I think it has some trouble. I saw Nair asked, can I comment on EG Reg crypto price? I think that he provides some decent TA on where this thing goes. I think that the consensus for the TA is pretty straightforward. We're battling to break above back $1. You got that $1.20 to $1.30 range that'll be a resistance. And then up from there, you got about $1.70. That's a big one. And then from there, it's $2. But there's about nothing between $2 and all-time high. So it gets really interesting past $2. But on the upside potentials, if we really extend out and catch up to where we need to be at with the rest of the crypto space, you're talking about a run towards $7 plus. And that's a general consensus and a very conservative price point for anybody who's not biased. A lot of TA guys that, obviously I have my own biases as well, but I feel like a lot of TA guys that won't even give XRP a new all-time high are just 100% biased, and they just refuse to look. They're only looking at past performance, and they're not willing to give it a fair shot going forward, and they just let their bias get in front of them. So, it's a matter of playing catch up. We missed the last bull run, so we got to get caught up. And just on a basic conservative TA level, you're talking about, $5 to $7 easily being achieved. And then to the upside, some folks want to stretch it out even further. You're talking $10 to $20 range. And we're talking about this bull run, 2024 to 2025. Anywhere in between sounds fantastic to me. Anything higher than 50 cents sounds fantastic. Just breaking above $1 would be cool. I think that you send XRP back above $1, and if we could just chill above $1, think of how much happier our community would be. You'd get so many people back to break even, and then you'd get so many people that would be doubled and tripled up. And then you'd have a lot of people that would be holding 10 bagger pluses. But, to this point, guys, this is why we're going to see such dramatic sell-offs. You really have to understand this. We are going to get killed in XRP. Please understand this. What do I mean? There's so many people waiting to dump their XRP bags. They don't have conviction. They don't believe in the fundamentals. They see a different investment thesis. That's fine. Good luck. God bless. And hey, some people, it's part of their strategy, their exit strategy, to be completely out by $5. That's fine. Maybe you have hundreds of thousands, millions of XRP, and you're just trying to shave a few 100,000 off the table. You just want a few million. Sure. I get it. Everybody's in a different position. You know, the 17-year-old that's side hustling to, you know, throw a little bit of money on crypto is a much different position than someone who's 60, 70 with a nest egg in their 401k retirement account or some sort of program. Those are the people that I worry about the most, because the 17-year-old that screws up can screw up a lot. He can screw up for decades and still make it out all right. Now, I hope that I can reach an audience that is, you know, just that young, just getting started. I've been there. The last 10 years of my life, I've been doing it. Making mistakes, investing money, losing, everything. And I use my experience, but then I always am seeking out people that are smarter than me, that bring new perspective, and that have more experience than me. And that's not just in crypto. In fact, most of them are not in crypto. On a daily basis, the only crypto conversations I really listen to would be on a Twitter space, which is probably a waste of the time half the time. But when I listen to YouTube, when I'm listening to other stuff, I'm listening to hedge fund managers, I'm listening to family office managers, I'm listening to analysts that come on to CNBC, I'm listening to those types of folks, along with other experts in real estate. I listen to, you know, economists, folks like that. That combined is how I approach the crypto space, with the thesis that 99% do go away. And as someone who worked my butt off for all the money that I've ever made, I feel uncomfortable, you know, gambling it on memes. I just don't have the time for that. You know, I don't think that that's a repeatable strategy. And you can't scale what's not repeatable. You know, if you could, then, you know, everybody would just be a gambler. And there's a lot of fakes out here in the space that are pretending like they're making money trading. You know, you can double up and triple up $100, but you still only have a few $100. You know, but it's nice to be able to say, oh, I made all this money trading this. You guys aren't getting any gains in XRP. Dude, you flipped $200 into $400 in a meme coin. That's a waste of time. Unless you can repeat it every single day. And you can't. No one can. Which is why that program doesn't work out. What else are we working with, guys? Has anyone ever moved 10,000 at once off of MEXC before? Now that's a question. I've never had to move. I've never used MEXC. They won't let me. They won't let me get in on their platform. Matt, I see you with the 10 spot. Bless the people that will stay strong on XRP. I've been holding since 3, 10, 20. Start of COVID. We going to do this for show. Patience. People will win. Yep. So that's March 10th of 2020. Yeah. You know, it's crazy. XRP, what did it go down to? 10 cents? Sub 10 cents? No, it went down to 10 cents. Yeah, this is a classic story. There's a lot we can all learn from this about not getting greedy and not getting too scared, which is what I was doing in the same lack of action. During the March crash, when XRP went down to 10 cents, I had money, but I was scared to death like the rest of the world. I mean, I wasn't that scared, but, you know, I was like, okay, we got, you know, it's time. It's hitting the fan. Okay. And I also was greedy. When I saw XRP at 10 cents, I figured, oh, okay, this is it. We're going to go down to 5 cents. I'm going to wait for 5 cents. I'm not going to deploy any capital right now. I'm going to wait for 5 cent XRP. Yeah, well, 5 cent XRP never came. In looking back, do you think that I'm kicking myself for not putting something in at a 10 cent XRP? I'm very happy with my average position and entry on XRP. I had plenty of time to do so at fantastic prices, but 10 cents would have been real nice. And it didn't trade there long. Now that goes both ways, right? When a coin's pumping, you start to second guess yourself. Oh, should I take profits like I planned on it? I set an exit strategy at $5 XRP. Oh, there goes the computer. Whoops. I set an exit strategy for $10 XRP, but then it gets there and then you veer off from your strategy. You forget what you have put down in stone as being your exit strategy, or at least maybe we should have considered having an exit strategy. You know, we don't want to get caught off. It's going to be absolutely violent. Stuart, another one? Oh my goodness, Stuart. Another big one. Are you an investor or a sugar hit gambler? I know what I hold. It's too freaking easy. Stuart, I appreciate you, brother. And that's it right there. I mean, trust me, I like going to the casino. I like playing craps. Craps is my favorite game to play. And I like rolling the dice and having myself a good time. But it is not scalable. It is not repeatable. And that's why I don't do it, right? But where I have had success and where I've gotten, 100% to 1000% returns has been in fundamental positions and in my own businesses. This is where so many people get our program twisted up. They think that our program is to decode riddles and hold a bag of XRP. No, we decode riddles and we hold XRP, but we're also doing a lot of other stuff too. And oh, by the way, we wouldn't be half as successful as we are if we didn't decode the conspiracies that are real. Now, what version of the conspiracy theory you want to believe in doesn't really matter so much as what action are you taking based off of understanding the conspiracy, being able to put something together, being able to connect some dots. Are you just talking around the bonfire with your buddies, or are you getting on the right side of the transfer of wealth is what that means. A lot of people can talk over some beers with their buddies about how the world's going to hell in a handbasket. And misery loves company, but eventually you got to go out and get something done about it. We got to question and apply the knowledge, that we're working on building right now when it comes to our business, our investments. And as you guys see, you got to get right with someone, whether you want to get right with God, whether you want to get right with something else, just catch a vibe, please. And I'm talking about a purpose. I'm talking about a reason to wake up every single day, because that's where I'm at. And forget XRP, forget money, forget all that. Every single day, I love getting up to come do what I do every single day. Like I said, I don't consider it work. I have to get drug away from here by wifey, ripping me out of here. Metaphorically speaking, of course. But that's what you need, is that type of passion, that type of purpose, that type of clarity. Because otherwise, you're going to get caught up and lost in the fog of war, which is exactly what this is. Trading memes is a fun game until crap hits the fan and we don't have a plan. How much are your memes and your NFTs worth when the lights go out? Not saying not to collect some NFTs. I hold digital value as well. I firmly believe in digital value and digital utility. Very bullish on it. It's one of the largest positions I hold. But I also can sleep well at night because I have some freedom seeds. I have some blackout barter. I got some diapers. And you guys see it here. We just got another earthquake off of Hawaii. I haven't even seen the follow-up on that yet, too. I'll check back on that. Let me know in the comments down below whatever happened with that. I saw that there was a earthquake. They got that active volcano right next to it. You don't know what the heck's going to happen. We just got California hit by the rains taken out there. We got war taking place. We got issues all over the place. What is your plan? And we're diversified amongst the digital and amongst the physical. We got metals. We got crypto. Over the weekend, and just talked about this with the Discord group earlier today. Finally got some exposure to some cryptos, and I finally am participating in the Stellar Network AMM. That's gambling, actually. Not really, but it's a form of. I threw a little bit at the Stellar AMM so that I could start to play, start to lose money so that maybe we can stop and help you guys not lose money on these AMMs. And so we're delving our toes into DeFi on Stellar, preparing for DeFi coming to the XRP ledger. And this is what's so important for getting our community tapped in right now, is the advantage that we have by already sitting on a bag of XRP at a very cheap entry. And then understanding that the value that's on its way here to this ledger is going to be massive. Now that we have the clawback that just went live this week, that's absolutely necessary for many financial institutions to issue any sort of assets on the XRP ledger. Everybody's talking about tokenizing real world assets. Okay. You are not going to see institutions tokenize real world assets unless they have that clawback. The other thing that they're going to need is decentralized identity. And they don't even care about it being decentralized. They just need KYC. They need to show proof. They need identity. That's coming with XLS 40. Now, we also have many smart contract platforms now that are being built out around the XRP ledger with interoperability with the XRP ledger, including the EVM sidechain, which will use XRP as a gas token. So is it necessary that we have smart contract hooks on the XRP ledger? Some would argue no, because we can have an ecosystem of interoperable chains around us. You have the EVM smart contracts, covers all of Solidity EVM smart contracts. Any of them can run through that EVM sidechain. You get Flare. It's another one. Bringing in, wrapping assets, F assets. They got DeFi cooking over there. That's another one that's in close proximity of the XRP ledger. You have Zahao, the smart contract platform that's being built next to the XRP ledger. The only connection to the XRP ledger is that burn to mint mechanism. There is no bridge back, but the XLS38D, that cross-chain bridge, this is where you get that bridge built between XRPL, Zahao, XRPL, Flare, XRPL, EVM, XRPL, whatever the hell you want. So is the smart contract platform as important as the currency that you want to get paid in and you want the transaction settled in? That's where this gets important. This is where that reserve currency conversation comes in, that apparently it's criminal to talk about. You know, we offend people when we call XRP a reserve currency. We're not saying that it's going to surpass the US dollar as far as the share of reserve currency store of value and the share of reserve currency transaction settlement, but we're just saying it might get a little tiny sliver. And even just getting that little sliver takes us somewhere pretty dang fun. And there's, you know, it's such a beautiful thing to see the decentralization on display on the XRP ledger right now. Little developers fighting over some things. It's fine. It's what I said with the Zahao network. You know, they don't want to play in this playground, the XRP ledger. Go have your other playground. We'll go put up a slide and some swings and fill the sandbox for you. And you can go play over there by yourself in the Hooks Zahao network. And go break it. Go test things out. Go push it to the limit. Go break it. And then we can learn if we want to bring it back to mainnet. Or, hey, let's just build the bridge through cross-chain bridge XLS38D coming in shortly and call it a day. At the end of the day, what do you want to get paid in? I want to get paid in XRP. There's a lot of tokens on the XRP ledger. I'd like to get paid in XRP, please. You see where this goes? And a lot of us are wondering, where are the institutions at? Where are the banks at? They need clawbacks. They need XLS 40 decentralized identity. And Ripple would like to be able to offer the AMM up to them as well. And they'd like to be able to offer up billions of XRP to those AMMs. Sourcing and building out the best liquidity flows for these currency pairs in the world. It just gets that simple. XRP to Bitcoin, XRP to USD. I'm trying to think of who could have a better flow of liquidity than right there on the XRP ledger between XRP and Bitcoin and XRP and USD. A centralized exchange couldn't do it unless they just gave you, you know, they didn't take any fees on top of the AMM themselves. They just pass that transaction straight through to you with no fees. The best source of liquidity for XRP to USD is going to be on that AMM. The best source of liquidity for XRP Bitcoin. I'm trying to figure out who else. Can you guys help me out in the comments down below? Who else is going to have better liquidity for that pairing? Now, some of the centralized exchanges will until the AMM grows, right? If Binance, let's say, is doing, let's just say it's, for example, let's just say it's doing 100 million in volume XRP per day, right? That's pretty substantial. That might even be close. XRP ledger volume on a daily basis last quarter, we just got the quarterly markets report, was about 600 million. So, you know, you're talking about 1/6, 1/5, give or take, maybe even less, right? You're talking about, you know, relatively small flows of liquidity compared to where Ripple would be able to take these by throwing in 100 million XRP into that liquidity pool. How would it not have a better source of liquidity, right? Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments down below, but I'm just thinking, you know, XRP USD, XRP Bitcoin. I mean, shoot, it might be the best form of liquidity for a lot of these coins and currencies. It probably very well will be. Appreciate all the comments, guys. Kelly says, I bet wifey is in the background saying, get your ass in now. Sounds about right. Appreciate you guys. Yep. Derivatives follow value. This is the thing. You're talking derivatives. You're talking tokenized equity. You're talking mutual funds. You're talking bonds, treasuries, real estate. You're talking NFTs. You're talking just a lot of holders that are ready to get some yield, and they're going to be ready to deploy their XRP. And so this is the inflection point where we really start to open up and unlock. I think unlock is the best word. We start to unlock the DeFi ecosystem for the XRP ledger that we haven't had. It's been non-existent. And you know, to bail out now, I think is just fundamentally missing a large part of that story of not understanding what kind of DeFi is opening up and not looking and comparing to the other DeFi in the space. Right? We already showed in this episode, there's about $36 million worth of XRP that's being used for AMMs in other protocols. That's 36 million of liquidity that could move to the XRP ledger tomorrow if we had the AMMs live. And I'm sure a lot of it will, because it'll be it's going to be smoother. It's going to be better. The liquidity will be better. Peaky says, I really need to move to a better time zone for these late night sessions. My apologies, Peaky, for showing up so late. Had a family dinner. Yeah, King Baker, that's a good point. He says, I think that Bitcoin may stay around in the long run. I hear a lot of it will go to zero. I think they will find some way to save it. Yeah, there's an incentive for them to pump Bitcoin up. Yeah, at least a couple more times for sure. Eventually, I think it will kind of more stabilize out, but that definitely could be at a much higher price. Absolutely. One other thing, I meant to show you guys this earlier. So I just received this. This is Certificate of Authenticity Ascension Bullion Collection, Limited Series 1 Reaper Treasure. One of 3 in the Treasure series minted by Jim Forsyth, 0.999 fine silver 1 ounce. And I got the 17th one. So 17 out of 200, signed here by Patrick Riley, the CEO of Reaper Financial, and Elaine D. Taylor, CEO of Ascension Index. Now, this is part of the Reaper economic system, the RES, I believe is what they call, and they're about to launch a new token as well, Pillars. Interesting little project, but I got this shipped to me. This is a really sweet engraved box, and I like the little opening right there. That's pretty slick. And so I wanted to show you guys this. This is super cool. Right there, you can see they have it etched out there, 17, right? Showing you that it's the 17th one. And then that's the coin right there. Little 1 ounce, and it's got the Ascension logo on it there. Or I don't know if that's the Ascension. I think that's the Ascension and the Reaper. They've added on to this project now a couple times. It's really cool, and now they're allowing you to. I think they're backing the coin, or they're doing some sort of backing with the physical metal now. And then this is a limited run, limited series 1 Reaper Treasure, 1 of 3. Now this series though, this is the 17th out of 200. So a huge shout out to Patrick and Elaine and their whole team there. That's really cool. They're building this on top of the XRP Ledger, by the way. And they just did the 59th Reaping and Ascension now, because they got the Reaping and they got the Ascension. And I believe that they reaped Expector. So, I love to see the progress on the XRP Ledger. And obviously, I'm super excited to see the merging of the physical metals into the XRP Ledger ecosystem, and they're already starting it. So a huge shout out to Patrick and Elaine for sending me this. I thought this was a super cool deal. Did you get some of the ninjas? I saw, I didn't know that Travis was into XRP. I like listening to Travis. He's really, I really like his style. He kind of does it raw like me. Like he just does lives out. Like you can tell he's just in his truck and stuff like that. I like doing the same type of deal. So I really like Travis. I find him entertaining. He's a real one. I didn't even realize that he was in XRP though until like a year ago. But add it to the stack, another 1 ouncer. And I got my beat up. My daughter lost a couple ounces, I think. I'm trying to teach her what real money is, and I think that she lost them. I don't know where they went. Oh, this is a 10 ouncer right here. Just a little guy. Saving up my shekels, and eventually I'm going to get that 100 ouncer. Use it, get a little pump in here. Yeah, we were talking about silver in this morning's Discord weekly call. The premiums have kind of come back down and cooled off a little bit lately. $4, sub $4 premium on some silver eagles. And then we had a couple members in our community that were explaining the difference between the eagles and just other generic, buffalo heads and whatnot. And for me, I'm still learning. I'm still playing catch up on some of the precious metals, right? For me, I'm still only a couple years into investing in this space, so I'm still learning day by day. So had to call up a couple of the more knowledgeable folks in the community to break it down. But what we're seeing across the board is silver prices came back down, and then premiums have kind of cooled off a little bit lately. I know that our good friend Andy Sheckman, he's absolutely hooking it up. We can get it shipped directly to you, or we can help people roll over a 401k retirement account. So that's important. Just like you guys heard with Larry Fink, BlackRock, right? It's going to be a battle right now. There's a balance between Bitcoin, the digital gold, and then the old physical gold, right? And there's still going to be a play for both. And he says that in Kathy Wood's scenario of 600,000 Bitcoin or $1 million Bitcoin, that gold equally is going to raise in value as well. Now, does that equate to 5,000 gold? Does that equate to 10,000 gold? We get to find out, and it's going to be a lot of fun, right? Silver, to me, is insane, guys. 90 to 91 is where the ratio is trading at right now. Today, the ratio is 90 or 91 to 1 is kind of where we're at. 91.80, I think, was the high of today. Meaning it would take 91 ounces to get you 1 ounce of gold. Historically, the ratio is about, supposed to be 16 to 1. Most folks say that it should be less than 20 to 1. So historically, the ratio there is completely out of whack. My man Max, the vaults are being drained, absolutely cleaned out and decimated. It's true. I'm not just saying that. I love to get you guys hyped, but I'm not just saying that to say that. Absolutely. We're seeing it. So I just reported on it earlier today. China, the People's Bank of China, bought, 10 tons of gold in January. And that's 15 months of straight buying. Now, before that, they weren't reporting. So this is what's always so funny about getting news out of that country, is before that, they just weren't reporting, and you know what they were doing. There's a reason why it's trading at a $100 per ounce premium in the Shanghai, SFE. So there's a reason why it's trading at a $100 premium. And they're finally reporting on it. And then we also covered how the Chinese citizens themselves have been buying more gold and silver than they have in the past 6 years. So it's just not even, it's not hype. It's not clickbait. They are literally draining out the vaults. 2 days ago, the COMEX got hit for 1.8 million ounces in one day. I mean, it's just like, it's crazy. Johnny asks, Zach, would you rather own precious metals or digital assets? Last time asking. For me, it's both. As far as what would I want to own for a bigger upside, I think that digital assets will probably do better, portfolio wise, but the precious metals play equally as pivotal as a role. Now, for someone like myself that's younger, though, my risk tolerance and my timeline is much longer. So, I don't have M's in the bank account, like the kids would say, that I need to protect. I wish I did. That'd be a good problem to have. I don't have M's in the bank account. So I don't need to be overweight protection. For me, I can still be very aggressive with my portfolio. But everything I do is based off of fundamentals. Even what would be considered the most risky positions by the traditional investors and financial advisors, for me, my timeline's so long and my fundamentals and convictions so deep, it's not, I don't even think of a lot of the risk, really. It's just set it and forget it. Set it and get back to getting more cash. That's why I don't play around with memes. All right, guys, I better wrap up this session. I appreciate everyone for stopping by. It's been a fun one. Another Saturday Night Live. And like I said, if you're looking to join our community, just head on over to my website, zachrector.com. You join through Patreon to get access to Discord, and we would love to have you in the family. And then all of our community resources can be found at my website. And I just want to say thank you. You guys are amazing. Hope you guys enjoy Sunday football. Have yourselves a good time. And I will be dropping more content. We already have a video ready to rock and roll on the real estate reset. Going to be dropping tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. I appreciate all the love and support, and we will see you in the next one. God bless you all.